This guy here is Jason Roth, a Seattle first-time homeowner. And Jason, despite paying his mortgage, just became homeless. He's living in a van. All it takes is one scammer to ruin someone's life. And that's what happened to Jason. Jason's a mechanic who saved up money to buy his first home, and when he decided to put it up for rent, he was approached by a scammer. The scammer gave him a giant sob story about how he could barely afford rent, but his daughter was moving in with him, and together they would be able to pay a reduced rate. Jason was excited not only to have his first tenant, but also to be helping someone in need, so he put a lease together with reduced rent, gave the man the keys, and then was never given a dime. The man stopped answering his calls. This scammer not only never paid Jason a dime, but he put the property on Airbnb and is renting it out for profit. There's very few cities in the country where this could happen, but Seattle is one of them. It has so many laws protecting tenants that Jason is left with limited options. Not only is the scammer living in the house rent-free, not only is the scammer putting the property on Airbnb and profiting off of it, but the scammer is refusing to pay for the utilities, which are in Jason's name, meaning that Jason is paying the mortgage, the utilities, and the taxes on the property, and now he's living in a van. But Jason isn't the only person having an Airbnb nightmare with tenants. This Santa Cruz woman rented a room in her home to a couple with no problems. Then, after a few weeks, they asked to move to cash. Let's take it off the Airbnb app. But as soon as they turned the Airbnb transaction off, the couple refused to pay another dime. California law gives at least 30 days notice to evict tenants. So these scammers are going around paying for 1 week or two, and then they end up staying for months, knowing that it's going to be expensive and time consuming for the landlords to kick them out. In this specific example, the landlord ended up paying the couple $1,700 just to leave. So these scammers not only lived for free in the property for 2 months, they got paid to scam. That's only going to encourage people to keep doing it. We have a broken system. But how can you protect yourself at home? The first thing that you're going to do is make sure that you have a good contract. If you can, use an attorney. Remember, my name's Josh. I'm an attorney licensed in multiple states. And as always, I'm not your lawyer. But if you need help finding an attorney or getting access to legal resources, check us out at notyourlawyer.law. Contact an attorney and have them help you create a lease that protects you based on your local state's rules and regulations. The second thing that you want to do is prevent subletting. A lot of leases don't specifically cover the types of provisions that can really screw over landlords. If there was a lease that prevented subletting, Jason, in our first example in Seattle, would never have to worry about tenants running an Airbnb because they would be violating the lease. You have to protect yourself by specifically talking about the behavior that you don't want to allow. Number 3, physically check your properties. It's very easy for an abandoned property to be taken over by squatters. By the way, we have a crazy video covering a squatter situation. It's very easy for properties that are out of sight, out of mind, to not only fall into disrepair, but to have crazy amounts of guests, for people to launch an Airbnb out of it. Or a meth house. You never know if you're not looking at it. Trust, but verify. Check Airbnb every month or so. Go to your neighborhood, pull it up on a map, look a couple blocks around and make sure you don't see pictures of your residence. Protecting tenants is important, but punishing scammers is too. I hope this video opened your eyes a little bit to what's currently going on. Get in the comment section and tell me your terrible tenant situation, and I might be able to provide some help. Until next time, I'm not your lawyer.